Cool. Welcome to the obnoxiously early morning show at 8:30 in the morning in Boston with Team Wicked Dicey and special guest nobody from outside of Wicked Dicey.
As per tradition.
Yeah, that'll happen soon. We'll get some more folks in.
We've had one or two.
Oh, we have Darren Watson.
Yeah.
And then I think that's it.
Yeah, probably just Darren.
I think that just somebody from Europe randomly.
Yeah, this is him.
Yeah. Oh, that's super awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, I need to get something like that.
Yeah, join the freaking club.
I'd been on that page to purchase the coaching program for their Sigmar coaching like probably 10 times, and I just like haven't pulled the trigger yet. But I even like on that stream was like, I will be there to subscribe soon.
Eyes.
So if you haven't already, email us at hello@wickeddicey.com for any of your questions. We have expert answers. But yeah, today, John Costa is joining us from down south, from Fairhaven.
Yeah, Fairhaven area, like
Fairhaven
South Coast, Massachusetts. Not Boston.
Yeah, not Boston. He's our southern ally.
Yeah.
That sounds
southern
horrible.
Massachusetts, which is also
horrible.
like
pretty
miles from Boston.
Welcome, John.
Thanks. I'm happy to show people how to not win Age of Sigmar games, but have a lot of fun when they do it.
Or expertly win. So, John, you are one of our favorite players ever to play against because you tend to like to have fun.
That's all I'm there for.
You're one of the only ones that comes by to have just a good game, and that's prim proper it. Because you tend to like to charge, right?
I love
your thing. What armies do you have?
I started with Ironjawz and Cruel Boys. Then I got a Lumineth army, which was a big mistake because they don't charge very well.
Just because you weren't playing Techless.
Because I wasn't playing. It's because I just can't pull the trigger on spending like $400 on the kangaroos I need. Yeah. That's my dream list. And then
like a million kangaroos.
Just all kangaroos.
They're actually pretty good. I recently read their war scroll and I was impressed.
Yes. Yeah, I love them.
They're very good.
I love them, but I'm very cheap. Well, I'm not very cheap. I don't want to spend like 300.
For context, he's sitting in a room. I think you're sitting in your basement.
Yep.
With about 300 board games to your
300. I'm almost there. I'm literally almost at 300 board games. Nice. And then I got into rats, and then I'm looking over at my case and I recently got into gits. And now the next one I'm going to start is KO, but I have to make myself wait a little bit on KO because I like to get at least a full army painted before I move to the next one. That's sort of my rule for myself.
What's that like?
It was easier when I didn't have the like army ADD that I'm starting to have now. Because I mean, like Ironjawz, I was probably on for 6 months or so. And then Lumineth, they were the only thing I had for 6 months. And then it was like when books start coming out fast, that's like when you get the best value out of buying boxes.
Yep.
So I feel like if I don't buy then, I'm missing out.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, rats in November, December, and then gets in January, and now like February, March, the KO comes out. So it's like I can't keep up with all these things.
Yeah. But your KO, you're doing something pretty cool with.
Yep. So I randomly bought a box of Bloodbowl halflings because I just thought they looked so silly, and they were on like a discount shelf at one of the game stores I go to. And I was like, one day I'm going to do something with these, and I don't know what it's going to be. And the one thing I liked about KO were all the balloon guys, but from what I heard, basically pre-book, I never saw them on the table because they just must not have been that good. But now with the new book, I think that the balloon guys are good, although my judgment of what units are good or bad isn't essentially like very valuable. But they looked fun is really what I thought. So I decided to make a KO guy. Then I'm going to make them all gnomes, but with balloons. So like that. So it's my my up inspired army. So I got I got wagons. I bought like D&D like merchant wagons for my frigates, so they're going to be like tied to balloon. A bunch of balloons are going to be tied to those.
Yeah.
And I randomly went to a store. I bought like 2 more boxes of Bloodbowl halflings, so now I have like 36 little guys just to go nuts with. So
nice.
So you're gonna actually switch over and do the Feastmasters.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you should look at their. They have a bunch of like STLs.
Positive, he's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
You
what
can
that
make your
is.
army be both.
The Nomad Feastmasters, the fan battle tome.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
You know what I did? I saw that at Everwinter, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's what I wanted to do."
I feel like you're probably the best candidate for that army. Like, I feel like you need to maybe consider switching gears.
I'll have to look. Look at that.
I don't know. It just seems like such a John alternative list. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
The one thing I wanted to do with them originally was do gits, but instead of squigs, just have pigs, and then so it'd be like farmers instead of gits.
Little farmers,
little farmers on pigs and stuff, and then have them on like they have all kinds of like halflings on like sheep and rams and things like that for all the bounders and stuff. Yeah. So I was thinking about that, but
well, cool.
I'm disappointed with these book releases. I'll let you know.
Oh yeah.
Because none are my armies. Literally none.
Oh yeah, Feck's not even getting
Feck Cities, Cruel Boys.
Yeah, so first of all,
Cities is coming.
I want to pause really quick. So there was some announcements like in the last 72 hours that I don't know. Like I know that there was stuff announced. Can somebody please go over that for me?
There's this awesome website called Warhammer Community Miles, and it's an aggregation of all the news that Games Workshop puts
aggregate
out.
it for me.
Yeah, I'll aggregate it in your mind.
Aggregate
Adepticon.
Yeah, so it's from the Adepticon reveal. There's OBR and Soulblight are getting new books. They pretty much
OBR and Soulblight. Okay.
Yep, they showed pretty much all the upcoming Seraphon new model kits.
Yeah,
there might be a couple more, but I think that's probably everything. Pretty cool stuff. Croc scores look awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Then let's see what else was there relevant to Sigmar. Another like Shadespire / Underworlds, whatever that's called. Pack is coming out. Was that all? I think that was all.
Did I hear correctly that the GHB is also getting pushed up again or something? Or is it?
Yeah, it's every 6 months.
Has it always been like that?
No, but it's been like that for
I think 1 and 2
a year now.
6 months.
Yeah.
There was rumors that they switched rules writers and that the new rules writer was going to get rid of the GHB system, but it doesn't look like they're probably way too lucrative for them.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think so, right? Because like, especially this one, like I feel like not a lot of people were like originally like buying, and now more people are. But
I hot take. I really like GHBs shifting every 6 months. So
that is a hot take. And actually, like again, John, you're like a really great to have here for this because like you tend. Sorry, I had a like train of thought and then the coffee didn't kick in quite enough.
GHB, John's great.
So GHB, John. So like, is like. John is my reason I'm saying this. Like, you're my favorite person when it comes to like quintessential. Like, we're here to have fun. We're here to play. And I have like a lot of friends like outside of Wicked Dicey that like they like are really like they hate the fact that there's like quick GHBs, many new books, and like it makes like the competitive scene more competitive and like more like the one that might not be named, which is like 40K, right? Like if we have so many books coming out and like so many rule changes and like everything matters at like the mega micro inch. Like, do you like I mean, you don't have like you're not like the all-seeing eye on this thing, but I am curious about your opinion. Like, do you like the idea that everything's shifting so quickly?
Yeah,
obviously does. It seems.
I like it because it makes me want to play different things. I feel like if you had like one GHB for like a year or even the whole edition, there would just be lists that get locked in. But now it's like, oh, now there's Galatian Champions, so like I basically could never justify putting a Megaboss in an Ironjawz list that I wanted to play because he was just always left behind.
Yeah.
And now with this one, I can put him in.
So you do like the variety.
So I like it, yeah. And
do you think it's going to make us all more finicky and more angry at the table because there's, you know, so many things changing and like
it's not. It never feels like that much, and I think they actually do a pretty good job of keeping a couple missions or whatever they're called. That's how good I am at Age of Sigmar. Whatever the battles you play on, whatever those are called.
So Miles, think about it this way: like, did you like bounty hunters?
I never used it once, and then like the last 2 games I played against it, I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. I was kind of an idiot. But
so basically, every GHB, these new roles is going to make one army obsolete and not playable for that amount of time.
Like zombies,
Gargants are like semi-unplayable right now because they can only literally do half of the battle tactics. So like, if you were a Gargant player and this GHB was a whole year long, I would like be very annoyed.
That's true. That's very true.
Like that you might not like the GHB, and that's fine because it's only in 6-month increments, and that's like it goes away. So you can actually like, I don't know. I think that's great. And then and like what John was saying is like you get to actually like look at your models and be like, oh, that's something I would have never put on the table before.
Yeah, and I think all 4 of us are pretty into the idea of like always having change. I just think like there was a time like after COVID where like things moved at a snail's pace and we were all like locked in and stuff. And the amount of rapid change that's happened lately is like in direct competition to that. And it's just like, it's so much like when they were like, when I now need to know, like, I still don't know anything about Slaanesh other than they hand you a dice and you like die. And then Khorne, I'm still like, I watched one battle report and I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta go learn that whole damn book now. So again, it's just, I like it personally, but I know like there is like opposition to it in the sense that like there's a you know, a mindset of like, oh man, this is just too much. Like I already just figured out the other stuff. And so I just wanted to bring it up again. Like, I think there's like, I can see both sides of it, and you have a very valid point there, Cameron. And before I do want to, after this, we should talk about the fact that Adepticon is going on, by the way. You just reminded me of that with Gargants and Bob. So anyway, John, you were going to say something, I think.
Yeah. The thing that from like a competitive stand, if I was a competitive player, which I am obviously not, the thing that would be difficult now is just like you said, how fast the books are coming out.
Yeah.
Because that's like a competitive player to me, and why I can't be a competitive player is you have to not only know what your army does, but you have to have a general idea of at least a general idea of what everybody's army does.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm never ever going to learn what other people's armies do.
This is an interesting point that I don't think it's ever been like this to this person's point, right? Of like,
it's been,
I didn't want to throw out his name into the ether, but yeah.
Doxing continues.
Yeah, we can do it. Welcome to the morning show where we will dox your entire life. Anyways, yeah, as Ben pointed out, right? Like there's a bunch of change and complete like kind of fundamental like meta shift happening with the release of the GHB, right? Because whenever that happens, and also another thing that's going to happen in like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, right, is the battle scroll, right? So we have 6 books that came out, I think, within the last 3 months. And we're going to get a new GHB in like the next 2 months, and we're going to have a complete points overhaul, maybe, right? So a lot of change, and yeah, definitely don't want to have to relearn all this stuff, like John just mentioned, but that's, I don't know, makes my brain hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the GHB, I don't feel like, I mean, it makes you think about your tactics differently, but like it doesn't really add, maybe it does, and that's why I'm bad at this game, but it doesn't add a ton of extra rules or things like that. It just is like little tweaks to, you know, oh, there's this battalion now. No, don't forget there's this spell that I just am remembering now that there is this General's Handbook that I've never seen.
That spell won me a game on Wednesday.
Nice.
It almost lost me a game on Wednesday.
Still have never cast it.
Never cast it or seen it cast. Nope.
That's funny.
You should cast it.
I should cast it.
I need to write a big sticky note and stick it on my army so I like remember to do it.
Especially with Cruel Boys, they have so many. Like I feel like you have so many casts with them.
So many good casters in Cruel Boys. Oh man.
I feel like the way I always remember the realm sphere magic or whatever they call it now is like I'll be like in a position where like, man, I need to do some more mortal wounds. I have nothing that can do that though. And then that snaps like, oh, there's this spell I could use. What was the last GHP spell?
It was
the first one was
count for half.
Oh yeah, no one used that.
Yeah, no one at all.
No,
that I know of.
Actually, no, I used it once at Summer Slaughter, and I won a game with it. So no, yeah, I win games. I think with these.
That's it. Well, that's
Hidden
a good
tech.
point, right? It's just a spell that is really situational. It
Yeah.
could win. Like it could be the swinging point. Like the monster one, I saw that all the time.
Oh, that was my favorite thing to do. Like Lore Seeker, turn him into a monster and just kill a Herdstone.
Well, or you turn him into a monster, and then now you have your like whatever 2 monsters in the enemy deployment zone.
Mm-hmm.
When I never did that, but it happened to me a lot. So,
remember how easy that GHB was to play? Like that's what I feel like.
I miss that GHP. I like that one a lot.
I mean, because it was smooth brain, right? It's like hold hands and run. 2 monsters in the enemy territory.
I didn't win a lot at that time, but it was fun.
Wasn't it like kill a general too?
I don't know. One of the battle tactics was have a wizard alive, and I was like, cool.
Right.
Or grand strats rather.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was awful.
Yeah.
That was real bad.
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. Remember realm spells and win games.
Yep. Real quick shout out to Bob and Travis, I think.
Bob and Travis, yeah, I think.
I don't know if, and there's one other
Troy
person that
Troy,
is newer to our group. Is that Troy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shout out to those fellas who are having a time at Adepticon. I went last year. It was really fun, but it was like a lot to handle. That was when I first met Noah and Emma, and we had a great time. We hung out a lot after, and Tom like floated in and out, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, not this year. Maybe next year. Do y'all ever plan on going to Adepticon?
I mean, I don't. I mean, I do, but I don't. It's weird. Like, I don't want to spend all this money to go to an event that's not going to report to like the competitive circuit. But that's very much like.
Didn't they switch that?
Nope.
Oh,
they're using BCP, but they're still refusing to report, which I don't get. Right?
Where does that come from?
The Midwest.
It just comes from the Midwest.
There's no
the
reason.
Midwest.
Well, no, like honestly, what it is like they're like really a hobby focused show.
Yeah.
Right? So like it's against their core ethos, I guess. But every other event does it. So like that's no longer an excuse. The AOS people. Yeah.
So they don't do it
at all.
No. Huh?
It doesn't get tracked at all.
Nope.
Isn't it like a million games too?
It's an 8-person tournament that is a qualifier event. So you get a golden ticket. It's like, why are you not doing this?
Yeah,
shame on GW for letting them be a qualifying event.
Yeah. Well, GW is listening, so maybe they
we'll bring them down.
Yeah. And yeah, like Logan said in the comments, salute to Bob for playing 4 Beast Smashers. And also he got paired into Night Haunt round 1, which is not, it's like you're already in the bad GHB for Beasts, as Cameron mentioned, but then also Night Haunt, which doesn't work well against Beasts. The Gargants, sorry. But yeah, no, fun stuff. Hope they have a lot of fun and do well, or as well as they want to. And yeah, next year I'll go there. But cool.
Yeah.
So I was going to mention Ironweld here really quick, unless y'all had more to talk about, more hot takes on the GHB.
No, I was just going to ask John about his preferred method for delivering pigs, but we can.
Oh yeah, we can kind of go into that. So again, for the million folks who are here who don't know our club very well, John, tell us a little bit about your why we call this show Always Be Charging and where that comes from.
That's just sort of my mentality when building armies. I want to basically fight as fast as possible. I was thinking about it before the Alpha Omega tournament, and why I do that, and I think it's because I'm so convinced that I'm not going to win the drop battle. Even if I have a 1-drop, they're going to also have a 1-drop, and they're going to beat me on the die roll, and then I'm going to get double turned.
Anticipating the anticipation.
That's right. So much so that I'm like, okay, I have to build my list around killing as much of their stuff before they do anything at all.
Because they're gonna get the double.
I don't care if I get double. It doesn't matter if they get double turned.
Well,
if they only have half an army
assume
left.
that they're gonna get the double.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of building it, assuming they're gonna get the double, but then I get doubled, and I'm like, oh man, if like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know, especially because Ironjawz was my first army, and that was kind of their thing, was just going up and getting in your face. So now that's mentally how I play games.
So I've got a 2024 challenge for you.
Okay.
Play a list that doesn't charge at all.
I technically played a list that didn't charge at all, and I got smoking boots at Summer Slaughter. So
you probably have the most like smoking boots awards, right? I would imagine, like in a good way,
probably.
Like club, yeah, like you're pretty proud of those. I would.
It's a badge. I think it's a badge of honor, and it.
Yeah.
Like you said, I'm here to have fun and roll some dice and hang out with people. And
your list at Alpha Omega was called "We'll probably get a beer." Right?
Yeah.
Like that was like your list.
We'll have time for a beer.
We'll have time for a beer. Like,
because that was it. I'm gonna charge you, and one of us is gonna be dead, and that's gonna be the end.
Which is just lovely. I think it's just great. I'm like too vain to like go that route. Like I need a win, or like I don't know, like cry internally. But
there was a lot of internal reflection after Alpha Omega for myself.
Yeah.
And I think I arrived at the answer, but my team tournament captain is not letting me.
Yeah, because for context, like Korey, you were doing like very like in-depth like training with Darren or like that group of folks, and then you showed up to a tournament and kind of caught off guard by John with his is it right 6x6
6x6 pigs, yeah,
pigs list, and then like got smushed after that by somebody else. I forget who it was. So
yeah, I don't even remember.
Yeah. Yeah, it's odd. Like
Zach, Zach.
Yeah, Zach with his.
But I got revenge.
That was like a meme day for you. You just got memed off the board.
Well, it was like I think the big thing was like I made a list change, and then was just like playing not the game that I was playing. And also I suck at deployment, so anyone that can get me in deployment, like that's how you beat me. Like,
yeah.
And John just did that. I was like, all right, I'm gonna throw everything into you. My deployment was bad.
Yeah,
that's the only way.
Like our game was still pretty bloody. Like,
yes,
I think you had a couple pigs and 2 heroes.
I mean, I lost. No, I had the Megaboss.
Oh yeah, you did have
there.
The Megaboss, yeah.
I
think I just killed
one of the
pigs.
blocks of pigs, and then I think you might have got one of the ward channers too. And the Megaboss was still putzing around. But yeah, Cam, I played Cam that day too, and I could not get through. I couldn't get through the wall.
What it was the wall of like stabas, or was the wall
40 gut rippas and 20 stabas and
40 gut rippas is a lot to get through.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And
yeah, I mean, just
something
like
didn't get in, or I admit like I didn't like focus. I can't remember. It just.
But you have to do 40 wounds per unit. It's 80 wounds, 90 wounds. No, it was 110 wounds of screens. Because it's 2 units.
Yep.
Yeah,
40, and you had the gets. Yeah, it was a lot of guys to get through that.
Cameron, how did your game go this Wednesday against Dave? I'm curious. So Dave was playing Sylvaneth.
Oh, I mean, I brought an absolute meme list. I brought
really?
I brought the
Odo.
Odo Godswallow.
Yeah.
The King Broad Mercenary Gargant.
Nice.
I put him in a Crow Boys list.
Did he put out at all? Like did he do well at all, or?
I mean, I
swallow.
Yeah, I had to take him to Red Lobster first.
I I had to wine and dine him, get him back home.
Want to be wine dined
by a gargant.
He's so low attack. Like his attacks are like 5 damage a piece, but he's got 3 of them. So like he whiffs real bad. So he's a big.
Did he hit Alariel at all?
No, he can't hit Alariel. Alariel does what she wants. You know what I mean? Yeah. You have to shoot Alariel more or less.
Yeah. With your gut rippers that don't shoot. Yeah.
No, with bolt boys.
Bolt boys. I know. Just kidding.
Pew, pew. No, I mean he's actually not bad. I think Gargants are actually kind of okay because they actually move reasonably fast and they're really hard to shift. So even in a not Gargant army, it just feels bad when he's counting for 5 models on the objective versus like 30 in Gargant books. So
that's the difference.
Yeah.
Sucks.
No, it was fun though. But yeah, it's not bad. I mean, the whole army was 5 inches, so like it's nice to have something that moves 10 inches and you feel fast.
Yeah. Cool. Yep. So the only other rabbit hole I wanted to go down was the Ironweld rabbit hole really quick for a very particular reason. So I always like to update our friends and audience and family really that the about Ironweld, because we're planning Ironweld and also our retreat, which is coming up, and we've got our teams for that. Can we announce that? Can we announce like our secret teams? Are they secret?
They're not secret.
I was gonna say I already said what our whole team is. So
well, that was before. That was pre live, but
it could have been any team.
There's a lot of subjects there. So anyway, let's start with the retreat. We have a retreat coming up, and the Boston folks have decided their teams, right? I think we have. Am I on a team? I'm on a team. Cameron,
you did it.
Yeah, and you're on my team. We're all on a team, except for Josh isn't here. So
he's in the chat.
Replace Korey with Josh, and we have your team. So, do we have a name?
No, it's going to be based on the sweatshirts we get.
Oh, okay. So we're working on our shirts from TJ Maxx, or Marshalls or whatever it is.
Yep.
We're bringing the heat. So,
everything's going to charge turn 1. Every list is going to charge.
Every list has to charge turn 1.
Yeah. Yep. So Anthony, you better watch out with your team, which has Korey on it. I think we're coming for your wins. We're going to take you down. But yeah, so that'll be fun. So it's a retreat in the woods in central. Oh God. Okay. There it is. Central Mass. The 40K crew is going to have they have a little singles tournament going on, and we're going to have our little team tournament. It's fun. It's my first team tournament. I don't know anything about it other than like we like pair people to other people. I think John, you'll have to go into Anthony first round.
Yeah, you just throw me into whoever the best person is on each team, and
please, because they won't expect it. It's that meme power, right? It's the whatever the craziest list. They're going to anticipate like calculated decisions, and that's not what we bring to the table.
Well, I have a very specific purpose on the team, and that's to win or lose as fast as possible, so I can get the rest of the team beer.
There you go.
Playing.
Yep,
love it.
Yep. And so if you haven't, if you're out there and you're still interested, we still got some space to add some teams in, and so just reach out to hello@wickeddicey.com. Sorry,
email us.
I'm gonna plug that forever.
Bob emailed us, so I think he wins the $1 million Korey bucks.
He really does. Cool. And so that's going on. Ironweld is tooling along. The special announcement is in the last two weeks. We went from the dogs are excited too. We went from 1 Legion player to like 9. We have 9 Legion folks at our tournament, which is super exciting because the original episode name was Legion is a better game than Age of Sigmar, which I don't know why we didn't put up that thumbnal. Might have had a mass audience.
That was a great Maniac roast.
I thought that was great. We should switch that out. But thanks Cam for putting a little effort behind that, and we've got another guy, Adam Oops, who's been doing really awesome, and the other 2 folks are lovely. So yeah, it's great. So thanks we want to have a mass showing of Legion at this tournament because it is the superior game with superior tactics and superior gameplay. Let it be known.
We have 10 now, actually.
Oh, we have 10. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's exciting. I think
Legion?
we had 13 for Everwinter, so we're 3 away from like
12. I think
breaking
was the
that seal.
final, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's super exciting.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, I find that game very fashionable. It's great. It's lovely. It's my favorite.
You gotta play it
this is
again.
new.
It's great.
No, it's great. I do like it. I just, again, I'm like Sigmar dependent. It's like my drug of choice, my needle.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's exciting. Yeah. So anyway, organizing the event is going pretty well. I feel like we keep making strides every week. We're still bobbling around venues for Everwinter because we really long, fun story on that one. But yeah, that's in process. But yeah, organizing events is a lot.
Did we talk about the one in Seaport? Is it like absurdly expensive?
Everything. So like for those out there who are like, I want to throw a convention and it's easy. It's not. And everything that ever comes back is $22,000 just to rent. And then you're like, that's like
plus a $30,000 food and beverage
requirement.
So
hey, $30,000 that you need to spend on hors d'oeuvres, and you're like, wow,
no one's going to eat these, you stupid.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? If you had like somebody going around, if you had like a whole service crew like going around passing out hors d'oeuvres during a Sigmar tournament, that would be fantastic.
Well, that's probably what we're going to have to end up doing for Everwinter. Like, so like that's like the before you even like do anything, right? You start like about like 50K in the hole, right? So like that's like the big puzzle to solve, right? It's like, how do we get $50,000 to just break even on the venue, let alone the prize support, the awards, like all the other stuff, right? So that's the it's been really cool to like do this because like we've been successful so far. I'm knock on wood that continues, but it's been really cool from that perspective when you like take a step back and think like, oh man, like yeah, we didn't obviously make any money, but like we raised a shit ton of money, right? So it's
and support and foundation and things that are products that we can use for future events. But really, like, I will not name any places or things in this, but the fun trailing story is we had a venue and another venue gave us a better offer, and then they sent over the offer after the original first venue said, oh, okay, cool, you're not going to respond. But the offer that the second venue sent over was $30,000 over what they originally told us. So we basically lost out on both venues. We're just like, so it was just one of those, like, that's like, the heartache, right? That's the thing we're kind of going through as we learn, to deal with this. So now we're working with an outside group to shop us a venue, which is fun too. So.
And they're shopping us to the same venues, which is just
hilarious. Yeah. So yeah, fun little.
Sounds like you're planning a wedding. Like I think our next tournament, all the invites should be sent out. Like
save the date. That's a brilliant idea.
Actually, really
I love that.
Which I'm actually in the middle of that. I have my last payment on my like wedding to like tomorrow or something, or like actually like 6 days from now. So weddings are freaking expensive. Oh my god.
It's an entire industry, Miles.
It's crazy.
There's a wedding con. You can go to wedding con.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Can we play Legion at wedding con though?
Yeah, I mean,
just set up a table.
My wedding's in the middle of Southern Illinois, and y'all are all invited. I haven't sent anybody anything because I don't want you guys to have to like splurge on flying out to see me. But but we're in the country, so you're welcome to join and play Legion all you want. So anyway, that's my.
You just doxed your wedding. Everyone's gonna show up now.
Yeah,
all of you too.
There's a lot of small country towns in Southern Illinois, so you might not be able to find me. So
probably.
One thing also for Ironweld that we have to discuss, but make sure people know about it, is that I'm going to help with the board game stuff.
Yeah, so. That's a really good point, John. So, you play a lot of board games, like or love board games, and I think we all have like a little bit of, we've tapped into that a little bit. And so one of the things we're trying to figure out is how to engage board gamers. I think we just need to throw like a grand Catan tournament. I think that's just going to bring, 400, 500, 600 people, because that's what the game that only everybody else plays. But yeah, if you are interested in helping us spread the word about board games, let us know. We can figure something out there. We've got some strategies in place. But...
Yeah, I think I've got 5 or 10 people that are going to come up for the board games. So
yeah, we're gonna so we're gonna have we have our board game library, which is we could probably get it up to 50 odd games at this point. And if we start seeing a lot more tickets come through, we can figure out another thing. But ultimately, I don't know if you all have probably been to conventions where there's just 300, 400 games where you can go up, get them, you get somebody teach you how to play it really quick, and then you're out on the floor having fun. And so that's a new extension of the upgraded version of Ironweld. Is we really do want to promote that and invite other people. Josh, if you're in the crowd still, we're looking. I know you have a friend who has a board game that they're trying to get out there. So things like that, we're looking for people who have new games and things like that to promote to the world and bring in new folks. So I think it'll be fun. Cool. Yeah. Which, speaking of which, I played last minute Werewolf with my actual work people team over Zoom yesterday. It did not go very well.
Oh.
Because nobody wanted to blame anybody for being a werewolf. They were like, I would not do this in a corporate setting that say that you murdered me. So anyway, it was fun.
I played this game yesterday called King's Dilemma. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's this political intrigue. It's a board game, but we're playing it over Microsoft Excel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
You can basically recreate the entire board state on Excel and play over Discord, as long as somebody has the copy of the game.
Yeah.
So a bunch of remote people are playing this game, and it's I don't know, it's interesting. It's imagine the political side of Game of Thrones, and that's trying to synthesize the mechanics of doing political stuff into victory points. So it's interesting.
I bought Cursed Court, so I've got
that. Oh
yeah,
I got that too.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks, John, for that recommendation.
You're welcome. Love that game.
Although Megan and I played it, it's not the
you can't play it
two-player. Yeah, you need 3 or 4 people.
I mean, in my opinion, it's a 6-player game, and it plays pretty good at 5. And anything less than that, it starts to lose, because the whole thing is pushing people off spaces and stuff. Yeah. But if there's only 3 people,
it's a party game.
Yeah, it's a party game.
Yeah,
it's a fun. It's more fun than poker on a poker night.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I think unless anybody else had anything in particular, I think we're at a good pause point.
Yeah. Next weekend also is in Fairhaven, Massachusetts, at the Armory. Games and Hobbies is a doubles tournament that we're running. I know Miles and I are going. A couple other people from the club. Cam, are you going?
No.
Cam doesn't love us.
Corey's out of town, I believe.
I got more Legion to paint.
You got more Legion to paint.
You're gonna skip the team tournament for Legion?
Legion painting, not even playing. You can paint while you play. That's the best part about
doubles. Sounds like a problem to me.
Paint while you play. Do you have any experience with that, Corey?
Yeah.
With actually
what? Painting while I play. Yeah.
Specifically the finger variety. Yeah.
If anybody's out there in the crowd looking for a doubles partner, Cameron's looking for a doubles partner for this weekend. So just piggybacking, no pun intended, on the wedding idea, we should do speed dating Sigmar games. With
on.
You have to do 500 point armies or something like that, like a small point army. 3-round games.
There'd be 300 guys to one girl.
We tried doing that, or that was an idea we had for our board game night, was 2-player games and getting a bunch of 20-30 minute 2-player games and having people rotate around. Mm-hmm. But my board game group's been doing it for over a year now, so everybody knows everybody. There's no getting to meet new people anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh was asking. We've got 10 so far, and that does not include Josh, who hasn't signed up yet, I believe. So,
Yeah.
So potentially 11. Yeah, and my kids start up like baseball and soccer and stuff like that. And so my wife was like, "Oh yeah, I saw you got something on the first. I don't know if you're like with all the soccer, if you're gonna be able to make that." And I was like, "I'm gonna be able to make that." She's
Yeah.
like, well,
The kids can Uber.
she's like, just don't plan on anything any weekend between now and June. And I was like, "Ugh,
Bad news.
I only got 2.5 weekends. I'm gonna be gone during that time."
Yeah.
They'll be fine. We've got friends to help.
Are we for the team tournament? Are we all crashing at your place again? Is that still is that a thing, or are we required to leave?
Yeah, if you guys want, I'm always happy to host people.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I got really tired last time.
What's the address?
Yeah.
Hey, John, have you considered putting the Crow Boys mercs in?
They can't charge.
Yeah, but they can shoot real good.
That's true. They can shoot.
You know what's better? Shooting screens out of the way.
That's true.
Why not just levitate on something and then charge over the screens?
Also, I think they can do some cheeky things. I forget what the little mercenary.
They get like an extra shot or something like that.
Or an extra shot?
The only problem is you can't give them. The reason I don't want to really add them is because you can't give them poison.
I believe they get poison.
Well, no, I mean they don't get it on 5s.
Oh, on 5s.
So your output drops a lot because you can't add shamans.
Too?
You can't add shamans.
Oh, that's right.
For like Ironjawz, you couldn't add.
Right.
Shamans.
Yeah, you'd have to do big walk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
6 less piggies though.
So, yeah, it's 6 less pigs, but your pigs get to do things that they're better at if they don't have to hit screens.
That's true.
Levitate.
You cats on an 8.
So.
Levitate cast on an 8. That's so dumb.
It's like elven privilege over here. Whatever. Even 3d6 casting. I don't care.
I need to look at what they do.
Cool.
Is that in the app yet?
I don't know. Probably not. But we should. I think we're at a good spot to wrap it up for this week. We talked about Ironweld. We talked about the doubles. We talked about the teams. If anyone wants to come and hang out, we're always playing every Wednesday at Battleground Games and Hobbies in Saugus. Any other shout outs, questions, apologies, takebacks?
We got some hot designs coming out for t-shirts soon. 15 weeks from now, when I get around to it.
Whenever we stop hating our lives.
Yeah, when we don't have 1,000
being stressed. Oh, that's actually a good point to say about Ironweld. The room block kind of sold a lot really quickly. So if you are coming to Ironweld and looking for a room, make sure you get them. There's only, I think, like 10 rooms left. So don't wait. Get on it.
I need to do that.
Yeah.
No, I just always assume I'm rooming with Josh. That's just my go-to assumption now.
Yeah. So coordinate and
it's going to be a message just like, nope.
Get on that. Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone.